Hi, my name is Gail Gosh, and I'm a HiSET instructor at DMACC, and I want to welcome you to your math course. The purpose of my video today is to demonstrate to you how you will need to navigate your course. You should have received an email from Canvas saying that you've been invited to join my course. In that email, you need to click the Get Started. If you've not taken a Canvas course in the past, it's going to ask you to set up an account, just some basic information. You'll fill that out and it'll automatically take you to this screen. There will be some kind of a notation icon up here that says accept the invitation. You need to click accept and then you will be able to get started. I've created a start here folder. This is where we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And so it's just a quick explanation of our DMACC HiSET program, and there is a PowerPoint here. So once you click on this PowerPoint, it is going to download to your machine. It'll be down here in that lower left, and you can click on it and watch the PowerPoint. That PowerPoint should answer a lot of questions you might have about the HiSET program at DMACC, as well as the process to earning your HiSET credential. Okay, my name again is Gail Gosh. You can reach me at gmgosch at dmacc.edu, or you can call my office number, which is 515-287-8709. Now that is my office number, but I have it forwarded to my cell phone, so I ask that you please do not try to call me in the middle of the night. Try to not call after 9 or 10 in the evening and not before 9 in the morning. Okay, now this is the outline for the the Math Academy course, but the Math Basics course is set up pretty similarly. So if you can navigate one, you can navigate the other. Both of these courses are asynchronous, meaning that you will work on your lessons when it works for you. You do not need to join a virtual class at any specific time each week. However, you and I might schedule via email or phone calls or whatever that we want to meet in a Zoom type atmosphere where maybe I can go over a few things that maybe you might be struggling with. But for the most part, you access things on your own. Now, one thing that I really want to point out is that almost all of the practices are interactive, where you're going to link to a site, start answering questions, and when you submit your answers, you get feedback. I've tried to include that in the unit quizzes as well. So I want to really reiterate, take the time to review the feedback from any items that provide feedback. That is a great opportunity to learn, and it'll allow you to move through things actually faster than you would think. Okay, I'm going to go on, and this next page is going to explain. This one's a lot about the setup for Math Academy, but one thing that I really want to point out is that the Department of Ed requires that students must engage in 8 hours of instruction to consider being an active enrollee in the HiSET program. However, this course is going to differ from that plan because it is a mastery-based course. For each module, you are going to take a quiz at the end to show mastery, and you must earn a minimum of 60% on that quiz in order to get mastery for that module. So in that way, we're going to show mastery rather than showing proof of 8 hours. The big reason we need to do it this way is that many of the links are going to take you out of Canvas and not going to get an accurate count of your hours. So I think this is going to actually be better because it's going to allow some students to move more quickly. They don't have to sit through things that they don't really need. Okay, the first 9 lessons or 9 modules are the modules from the Math Basics course. If you've taken Math Basics, whether asynchronously or with an instructor that was doing virtual lessons and you've mastered Math Basics, then you will be able to go directly to the linear equations module, which means you go up here and click on modules and then scroll down and click on linear equations. If you've not taken the Math Basics course, which that's going to be the majority of Math Academy students who are taking this class, you still need the opportunity to refresh those skills. So you're probably going to work through those first 9 modules, at least the first 6 or 7, probably pretty quickly. I'm going to leave that open to you, and I'll explain to you how you will do that. Okay, so for any module, you're going to view lessons, have the opportunity to view lessons and complete practice activities, or you only view what you need. Okay, however, you must meet that mastery goal by earning 60% on the quiz for that module. So you don't want to go too quickly, but I don't want you messing and open up things and sitting through lessons that you don't need. Okay, truthfully, I've said it right in this notation here. I have an overload of math material on here because if you're stuck or if something isn't working for you, I I don't want you lost. You know, if one video an instructor didn't quite get it clear for you and you want to watch some more, you can. But you do not have to open everything in here. If you feel like you have a handle on a lesson or a concept, you can move on. Big time. Just don't feel like you have to access everything to get credit. You're getting credit by showing mastery on those module quizzes. Okay, for the Math Basics students, the very last thing that you're going to have on available to work on is a HiSET practice test. It's FPT3. For Math Academy students, the last 4 or 5 modules are interspersed. Every other module will be an opportunity to work on a HiSET practice test. Now, I want to point out the difference between the module quizzes and the HiSET practice tests. The module quizzes are meant to just drill you on a specific content area. There might be a little bit of branching out, but for the most part, it's really focusing on that content that you just practiced. The HiSET practice tests are going to be overarching over anything and everything that HiSET might test on. Now, HiSET is notorious for having rather involved test questions. Their test questions are going to cover perhaps several different concepts as well as several steps involved. And so we want to give you practice with that because most students look at when they first take a test, they're like, a HiSET test, they're like, wow, that was nothing like everything I've done. Although it involves a lot of the skills and they recognize those skills, but they're just a little overwhelmed because there's so much packed in one question. It's a heavy duty comprehension task. And so we want to give you practice with that. And so we're going to end Math Basics with that first practice test, and the Math Academy students are going to end with a lot of practice tests. Okay, how fast are you expected to move? Depending upon your skills, everybody's going to move at a little bit different pace. This is a possible, very hefty game plan for a Math Academy student, what they might want to get completed each week. There's a similar schedule going to be available for the Math Basics students, which will be a little more pared down. But this is quite a hefty schedule. I've had one student this past term who was able to get through this. Most students get at least through the third week. Most students need 1 or 2 sessions to practice their math and get up to speed to taking the HiSET official test. So don't be down on yourself if you need to do this a second time through. That is the large majority of students. But I'll keep you in this and you won't have to start over. You will just continue where you left off from one session to the next. So don't feel like, you have to get it done in 5 weeks. That's pretty much what I needed to do there. When you get to the bottom of these screens, you keep moving forward by hitting this next button that's down in the lower right. So I'm going to move into our whole numbers instruction. Now for many students, this is going to be pretty basic. These are all videos that are anywhere from, 3 to maybe 10 minutes long. You do not have to open all of these videos and watch them if you feel comfortable about reading a problem and recognizing if it's multiplication and division, if you feel comfortable with rounding numbers, if you feel good about exponents and roots and order of operations. If you feel good with all of that stuff, you might want to go ahead and do the quiz. Otherwise, this is a chance for you to check it out. So you're going to go through and you click next when you're ready, and you get the opportunity to take a quiz. This is the quiz that you need to show 60% mastery on. Now notice you're going to get 3 attempts. I'm not going to open this up and take this because that's going to just really bog down make our video rather long here. But once you complete this, if you start the quiz and you complete, there's 21 questions, you need to get 13 correct. You will immediately, once you click submit, you will get the opportunity to view feedback. I really, really want you to read that feedback. That's an opportunity for you to learn. If you did not score well, you can come back, any of the modules, you can come back and just re-access all of the lessons or any practice that you want to do. and then you can continue back and you get another attempt at this quiz. So you will get up to 3 attempts, but we really want you to have 60% or better to move forward. Okay, I want to go back to the home screen here, I'm sorry, which you would access by modules. And so I want to point out that as you're working through, oh, as you complete a module, after you complete the whole numbers quiz, you're going to notice that the next quiz will open for you, decimals and concepts. Once you complete the quiz with that, the next module will open. So it opens like that for you. Okay, at this point, I want to leave the student view and go back and explain. Now, this is what it looks like from the teacher point of view. I don't want you to get hooked onto this, but I wanted to go in here and show you a couple things. I now have access to show you this on the second module is on decimal concepts and fractions, but using the TI-30XS calculator. That is the only calculator that you will be allowed to use during the test. It will be provided to you. We think it's just really important that you learn how to use it. So this module is going to go over some core skills with decimals and rounding decimals and estimating. But then these next videos are going to link you to some videos that show you how to execute those skills using the TI-30XS calculator. Now this link up here in blue is a link that's going to take you out of your course. This is a video that I was able to embed and it stays in the course. So whenever you get linked out of the course, then you're going to need to come back to the course and pick up where you left off. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that and go back to our modules page. I just want to point out that when you're finished with a module, you might want to click this little arrow here and close it up so that you're not scrolling forever and ever. The next thing I'm opening is our ratio, rates, and modules, or proportions module. I just want to show you, I have a ton of information in here. Again, know that you don't have to access all of it. But there's a lesson on rates and unit rates, and then an opportunity to practice that. Those are each going to link outside of the Canvas course. Anytime I have a practice here, that's an activity where you're going to go out and answer some questions, and each time you submit, you get feedback. So that's an opportunity for you to learn, drill, and practice. A lot of lessons I have, just a quick web page that you can take a peek at, and maybe that's all you need. We really want to promote the cross multiply and divide because HiSET has a really unique way of testing that. So I want you to see that. And then there's assortment of videos here in practice. So I just have a ton here. And then 2 other videos that link into or are embedded in our course. These last 2 things that I want to show you are PDFs. So when you click on that PDF, that's a paper pencil task that it's going to download into your lower left corner that you can open up. I'll open that real quick. That you can open up and you can either print off or you can view it and work on your own paper. And then the answer key is here that you can print off and check your work if you want a chance. Some people like a paper pencil activity to work with. So I'm going to go back up and click our modules and get out of that. You know what? I wanted to show you one more thing. In that rate ratio, and actually from here on out, every module from here on out is going to have this support using skill blocks on your phone or computer. This is material that I put together for my classes that I taught virtually or face-to-face so that they could go to this site on their own time and practice what we'd worked on in class. And I just decided to make it available to you here. But you click on this link here and it will open up to a screen that looks like this. Because you're a student, you're going to go into the screen that says I'm a student and you enter the code that you want to practice on, the activity that you want to practice. You enter that code here and it's going to take you to a variety of different materials. Almost exclusively I went with CK12, Math is Fun, and then Khan Academy. So on the CK12, there are 6 or 7 different things that you can go through. I mean, some animations and study guides and so forth. But I circled the things that I think are most important. Some students like to read and see problems worked out, so that would be an opportunity to see that there. Some students really enjoy a video. I think many people learn best from a video, hearing and seeing things worked out. And then there's an opportunity to practice. I think those three things are really important. Now, I want you to see here that on the videos and the read for this particular skill, it says down below here that there's three more options. Down here, there's like 26 or 13 more videos that you can watch. If you can click on that and just watch as many videos as you want. So you have things available to you. Then the next thing is, oh, also don't forget the practice here is really good because you get feedback after every one. Math is Fun is another web page that when you click on the Math is Fun link, it's going to take you to their web page. You can scroll to the bottom and try these your turn questions. And so when you click on a question, it's going to open up in a box and give you a multiple choice question. You make your selection, you'll immediately get feedback. Either you got it correct or you got it wrong. It's going to tell you the correct answer if you got it wrong, but it's also going to give you this feedback to tell you what you should have done to do it correctly. So you get an opportunity to learn from that. Khan Academy is another resource that we used, and we're going right to their practices. So these practices are anywhere from 4 to maybe 7 or 8 questions long. You enter your answer and click enter. If you feel like you're lost on that one, you have the option to watch a video on it. So there's lots of great practice with this here. So it's just another opportunity to practice. And I have those embedded in everything from rate ratios and proportions and onward. So again, keep closing things up after you completed them. And after you've completed a quiz, again, the next module will open. So Math Academy students are going to be working up through introductory algebra skills and solving single variable equations. So just bit by bit, you just keep hitting the next button in that lower right corner and keep going through it. You will end with, the Math Basics students will end with a HiSET practice test. Again, I want you to read the feedback on that, and I want you to know that on the HiSET test, you really only need to have about 50% of the math questions correct in order to pass. So I'm putting that on here. Now keep in mind, this FPT3 is a little bit outdated, so actually it might be a little higher, but that gives you a good viewpoint of how you're doing, because I would say the FPT3 covered these skills, but did not cover much on skills after that. So Math Academy students, keep on moving, because the linear equations is a much, much tested concept. You open that up, you're going to have all the same things that you can have access to, similar to before. And then you're going to have another opportunity to take a practice test. This was a practice test that was used as a qualifying test about 3 years ago. Again, a little bit outdated, but still it's very good. The exponents and polynomial expressions, again, you're going to have all those same things to access. And then a PPT6 that was used also like 3 years ago. This topic here on factoring polynomials and solving quadratic equations isn't tested a huge amount. You could get by without it, but boy, it sure is a simple task to learn those. FPT6 and FPT7 are most recent. They're going to be the most recent rigor. Functions is the last thing. The last year or two, functions has been a much tested concept on the HiSET. So we want to make sure that you at least get a chance to check that out. At that point, I did want to point out that grades, I do not believe I showed you grades. This again is the teacher module. I will go back out of this and get into the student site so that you can see what the grades look like. Okay, so this is what you have access to the modules and the grades. So when you go into the grades, these are out of order. I'm going to try to get them in order, but it requires a due date to put them in order, and you guys are all going to have different dates, so I just don't think that's going to be possible. But this is where you can always check to see where you stand with your quiz grades. Now again, these are the quizzes that you need to get 60% or better on. So you can always check here to see how that's rolling for you. One thing that I wanted to point out is that I have created this. One of the reasons I put this in Canvas is Canvas is now something that students can access on their phone. I've made sure that all of the lessons that are available and all of these modules and all of the practice activities are going to be accessible on your phone. So there will be students who will get this on their phone and be able to move through this and access everything completely on their phone. So hopefully that helps all of you get started. Keep in touch with me. Again, my name is Gail. Any information that you need to have about that is here in this site or this page, as well as in the email that I sent you.